Hey guys, welcome to the Pixelberry Choices podcast, and I'm finally back with weekly updates, book reviews, character analysis, and more. I'm going to continue from here on as usual. I used to do before I went on hiatus for my exams and some of the stuff that I had going on in my personal life. Well, I have more free time now, so I'll be making regular videos now as per usual routine. Alright, so I'm gonna start today with Immortal Desire. I know I have a lot in my plate, but I'm gonna start off with Immortal Desire because this is a banger of a book right now. So, Immortal Desire, when it came out first, I was a little curious how it would be like a vampire book. Like when they first teased about Immortal Desire, I was really glad to know that it was gender customizable because you already have one vampire book in choices, which is Vampire Bloodbound book, and it's gender locked. I personally like gender customizable books because I think I get the full experience. Bloodbound, even though it's gender locked, it just give you a good experience. It's really a great book, Bloodbound. I have read until some chapters in the holiday special books. It's absolutely stunning, amazing, and frightening. Exact horror book you expect it to be. But Immortal Desire when it came out for first for VIPs, I was watching a lot of posts and notifications. So I saw people saying that. So basically, how our main character is sandwiched between two love interests, as they show in the poster, and the story is exactly like that. One bad girl, bad boy, Cass, and one good girl or good guy, sort of the goody two shoes, Gabe or Gabriella. So point is, a lot of people compared Gabe with Stefan and Damon with Cass, and that this story is kind of similar to Vampire Diaries in terms of how it started off. With Gabe catching the football and then Cass being all the bad kind, bad vibes, that kind of vibe they give. So I started playing it and the high school aspect of it because, well, we don't see actual high school stuff like studies, proms, and stuff in this book yet, but still it's a high school story, sort of. So I was thrilled. I was enthralled, I should say, that I was gonna get another high school story YA book because we haven't had that. Like maybe we had some college stuff in foreign affairs and some other books, but this was the next level in a high school story kind of book. And the aspect of how they did about Gabe and Cass, well, most of the choices that we have at first, when we play the game with Gabe's friends and Cass, and one of Cass's friend who is quite quiet, I would say, quite quiet, because that's really weird. Who this friend is, we don't know yet. 6 chapters in, and nada. But we see that we are given option. We can flirt with either Cass or Gabe, and no matter who we flirt with, it makes the other one jealous. Even choices put out a quiz or sort of a Q&A, you can say. Not Q&A, it's just like a question, multiple choice question, that who do you like are you team Gabe or team Cass, in one of their insiders, I think the last one. So I like the goody two shoes, like the good girl route, and Gabe, or Gabriella, she's a girl after my own heart, like after Mason from My to First Loves. I just love these kind of characters. So definitely I'm team Gabe, but let me know who you're going for. I do not mind romancing Cass in the scenes, but Gabe, there's just something else. So if you choose to flirt with one, the other one gets jealous. So that's really interesting how it happens. And we have so far seen that we are getting sort of pulled in between them, but Gabe is the one who is protective of us from the very first moment, and then Cass is the one who seems to be dangerous, who can do us harm. We're given the talisman by Gabe, sensory talisman, that will tell us if there are vampires near us and if they were trying to harm us. So at first that was shining when Cass was there, but not really, because Cass didn't try to mean any harm. So she was attracted to us in one or the other, like she cares for us, I should say. So that's a really interesting point they tried to drive home. And even when we see Cass attacking a girl, and then we get to the coven, we see Lewin and Astoria, the professor of our high school. There are some vampire coven leaders, and Lewin is the more humane, or supposed to be more humane, and Astoria, well, she's downright a killer, I should say. And then we get out of there, but for punishment, something terrible happens with Cass, like some silver burn she had upper hand, and we talk with her. Then we also get to spend some time with Cass, and we were alone with Cass. Cass can give us her vampire abilities to feel like a vampire, jump off the cliff into the, you know, into the water. I don't know where it was, like a waterfall or something. So we really enjoyed with Cass, and when we were alone in the jungle even. So they really portrayed it super well, that Cass is the most dangerous creature we knew of at the time, and we were alone with Cass in the middle of nowhere, who we saw attacking a human being inside the town boundary, and we were in the jungle with her. She could have killed us, she could have torn us from piece to piece, like, but we were still there. We knew we were vulnerable, but we're not showing any fear, but we were matching her pace for pace when she tried to tease us. That was something really special, and I would give props to the writers, how they sort of built up the chemistry between Cass and our main character, that I really enjoyed at that time. So this vulnerability we feel around Cass in this first couple of chapters, 3 or 4 chapters, where Cass is around her, she's trying to scare us off, but we're not that easy, and our sensory talisman definitely telling us that we are not at risk here. So that's pretty much how it goes, and that sort of vulnerability, like we can be vulnerable for Cass. She says that she doesn't care for us, she or he, they don't, Cass doesn't care for us, I should say, but deep down Cass has feelings for us, like they care for us, they want to keep us safe. Gabe shows it up front, but Cass also is doing the same thing. And there's this little rivalry between Cass and Gabe between us, for our main character, I should say. So that's really amazing. And we spent some amazing time. The Spring Festival, the Ferris wheel. We can go on the Ferris wheel with both Gabe and Cass, and we have different experiences. It's a raw kind, raw experience with Cass, while a sweeter, genuine, heart to heart with Gabe. So it's definitely something like we see two sides. And then in the 6th chapter, we see the big revelation. Some people abduct us, and later we find out they're vampire. They open a cut or gash in our arms, and then we see Gabe standing there, but in her vampire form. We never knew, because before we talked with Gabe, and we learned that her family was vampire hunters. One of her grandfathers killed vampires for fun even at one point, but even he helped at one point when there were numerous vampire and humans were in trouble. But he also did some bad things, and her grandmother went out to search for the vampire stuff and got her in trouble. So we knew that her grandma was killed because of this vampires, and this history of Gabe's family, and how much Gabe sympathized with the humans. And Gabe doesn't really like the vampires and has a hard story with her. We visited the graves of her grandma and other vampires also, who are supposed to be dead but are vampires. So we learned all the stuff with Gabe, and now Gabe was a vampire. So that definitely shocks us, and she attacks all of the other vampires, kills them. We help Gabe, but then Gabe comes for us, and Cass saves us. And later we know that Gabe did that because Gabe didn't drink blood in 1 month, and she sort of went berserk because and at that point she didn't even remember she was gonna kill us. So we saw the guilt on her face, but she snaps out of it. But I'm really curious, if Cass didn't save us at that time, like if Cass didn't sort of attack Gabe and knock some sense into her, what should have attacked us, and like what should have done? Because I feel like even if she would have at first tried to feed on us, at one point she should have stopped. Gabe should have stopped, because I know like Gabe has feelings deep down even more then Cass, and then we go to the coven again. And this time we were brought for the second time. So first time we were out there, we thought we will be punished if I miss this. Our mom is investigating for some murders because recently there are some murders going on in this book's Crimson Beach, which is kind of like the Mystic Falls from Vampire Diaries, and some shady stuff is going on there. And medical examiner, our mom is sort of sticking her nose where it doesn't belong, and she's getting in trouble. So Lewin also knows where her son and she, Astoria, she and Lewin, they both warned us that if our mom tries to investigate further, if something happens, we're gonna get killed, and our mom's gonna get killed too. So we're sort of a package deal. So we see Lewin in various places. At first we saw Lewin with Gabe also, but then Gabe tells us it was just because Lewin told her to keep eye on us. But then we definitely saw the biggest reveal. And then we also get to know that Gabe was a vampire all along. She had to keep an eye on us because Lewin sent him for that, because Gabe is from Lewin's coven and Cass is from Astoria's coven. This is pretty interesting. But then we also see that the feelings Gabe had for us genuine. So it was kind of like the, I don't know, like the betrayal situation of Aina from Foreign Affairs, but it was not like a proper betrayal. But you understand Gabe, what she did, why she did, so you can choose either to forgive her or, say something else. But this time, they say they're gonna kill our mom, Astoria, and the others, and Lewin. But we again appeal to them that we are a package deal, and we can, in a diamond scene, get to some exclusive laws that will help us save our behind, and then we will walk free. Not just us, but Gabe and Cass, who also broke some vampire laws there. And we visit numerous vampire history in time. We collect a lot of artifacts. We visit the old time history. We read journals, and some of the what happened when one vampire tried to turn his love to immortal, and that didn't work out well, and that ended horribly for them, and we're now afraid for Gabe or Cass. In my case, they showed Gabe, because if we love each other, what will happen? Because Gabe a vampire and we're a man, so are we doomed for a bitter ending? After walking free from there, we go home, and either Cass or Gabe can accompany us. So I chose Gabe to accompany me. Cass was a little begrudged by that. That will happen. Even if you chose Cass, how Gabe will react, because Cass reacted really poorly, and then we sympathize with Gabe and we sort of have a very nice conversation. And right at the footstep of our door, we have a very, we have our very first kiss with Gabe. And we also make a stop to ice cream parlor with Gabe. Let me know what happens with Cass, but I really enjoyed the Gabe scenes here. And then go inside, and our mom was waiting for there, furious. She wants to know what we were doing, because we went for the spring festival and this whole lot of drama happened, and she doesn't know. So we don't want to tell her a lot of things, because we don't want to make her suspicious of Gabe or the whole thing. But we also want to keep her out of trouble. She's the medical examiner. The recent killings going on, like a lot of people are dying. Why they're dying, we don't know. So our mom is investigating. So definitely vampires are related to this. But if she gets any deeper, she'll be in danger. And then we sort of have a fight with our mom. Mostly try to keep her away so that she doesn't get herself into danger. The less she knows, the better for her. And then you go upstairs and you see the mask on our floor, the same that was worn by one of our attackers, assailants, the vampire assailants. So why is the mask that was worn by one of our attackers was on our floor? Dread feels us, but we will see what happens in the next 7th chapter. Also, one thing I should mention, that when the book started, we see a supreme vampire leader who kind of looked like Lewin. I don't know if it was Lewin or not, the supreme leader. He was a very handsome guy. I don't know who he was, a vampire. And one of the servants walked to him, and then sort of he touched his head and turns him into, I don't know, like a feral creature. Remember from Bloodbound, a feral creature attacking and killing everyone? So something like that. He got turned into a servant, powerful creature servant, and then these murders are happening. So my best theory is the murders that are going on in the town of our Crimson Beach are due to the creature that guy turned that guy into a creature. So that's the same creature that was turned by that supreme leader at the start of the book. It's something like in Bloodbound, where those feral creatures, there were vampires in the town. We came to know about the vampires, but also the main reason threat was not vampire at the time. Priya, remember? Priya, we thought was killing vampire was a vampire was killing people, but it was not Priya. It was those feral creatures, you know. So here we also gonna have something like that, a feral creature like thinking here probably. But we'll get all of the answer as we go. But this is so far a quick recap of this book, Immortal Desire, which is an amazing vampire book. I'm so far loving it. A lot of Vampire Diaries vibes I'm getting from here, Damon and Stephen vibe, but I'm loving it. Let me know your thoughts, opinions, your theories, what you think of this book. But this is Immortal Desire story so far until chapter 6. Let me know your thoughts and opinions in the comments. I can't wait to interact with you after a long time. I've been waiting for this moment. I have waited and I just can't get to interact with you again. I will get back to all the comments that I have not gotten in the past couple of weeks. And let's get started again. I'll see you in the next video. Till then, peace out.